Welcome back to Learn English through Stories with Mayan. Today, I want to tell you a story that many people have never heard. It is the story of a woman who changed the world quietly, gently, and with great faith. Her name was Fatima al Fihri. She did not fight in wars. She did not rule a kingdom. She did not write books or travel the world, but she built something that has lasted for more than 1,100 years, something that still exists today, something that millions of people around the world use and admire. She built the first university in human history, and she did it at a time when women were rarely allowed to lead anything. This is her story. Fatima was born around the year 800 in a city called Qarawiyyin in modern-day Tunisia. Her family was not rich at first. They were simple people, hardworking and honest, but they valued one thing more than anything else: education. Fatima's father, Muhammad al Fihri, believed that knowledge was a kind of light. He taught his daughters to read, to write, and to think deeply. This was unusual for the time. Many girls did not receive any education at all, but Fatima and her sister Mariam were different. They grew up surrounded by books, teachers, and discussions. They learned languages, mathematics, and religious studies. Their father used to say, "Knowledge is a treasure that no thief can steal." Fatima carried these words in her heart. When Fatima was still young, her family moved to Fez, a growing city in Morocco. Fez was full of life: markets, scholars, travelers, and craftsmen. It was a place where ideas flowed like water. Over time, the Al Fihri family became successful. Her father worked hard, and their business grew. They became respected members of the community. But life is unpredictable. Within a short period, Fatima lost her father, her husband, and her brother. She and her sister Mariam were left alone. But they inherited a large amount of money. Many people in their situation would have used the money for comfort, security, or luxury. But Fatima was not like most people. She looked around her city and saw something missing. Fez was growing fast. People were arriving from many lands, but there were not enough places for learning, not enough places for people to gather, study, and grow. Fatima felt a calling, a deep, quiet voice inside her. She wanted to build something that would help her community, something that would last longer than her own life. Fatima decided to use her inheritance to build a mosque, a place of worship, but also a place of learning. In her time, mosques were not only for prayer, they were centers of education, discussion, and community life. But Fatima did not want to build just any mosque. She wanted to build a place where scholars could teach, students could study, travelers could rest, and knowledge could grow like a garden. She wanted to build a place where anyone, rich or poor, local or foreign, could learn. She began planning the project with great care. She chose the land. She hired builders, architects, and craftsmen. She oversaw every detail. And she made a promise. She would fast every day until the construction was complete. This was her way of dedicating the project to God, to knowledge, and to the future. The construction took years. Workers carved stone, shaped wood, and built arches that reached toward the sky. The people of Fez watched with curiosity and admiration. Finally, in the year 859, the building was complete. It was called Qarawiyyin, named after the people of her hometown, Qarawiyyin. At first it was a mosque, but very quickly it became something more. Scholars began teaching there. Students gathered in circles on the floor. Books were copied by hand. Ideas were exchanged. Debates filled the air. Over time, Al-Qarawiyyin grew into a university the first in the world. People came from Africa, the Middle East, and even Europe to study there. Subjects included mathematics, astronomy, medicine, law, philosophy, languages, theology. It became a place where knowledge was shared freely, where minds were opened, and where the future was shaped. And all of this began with one woman's vision. Fatima al Fihri did not seek fame. She did not put her name on the building. She did not ask for statues or praise. She simply wanted to serve her community. But her work changed the world. Qarawiyyin is recognized today as the oldest continuously operating university on Earth. More than 1,100 years after Fatima built it, students still walk through its doors. They still study, learn, and grow, just as she dreamed. Her story teaches us that you do not need power to make a difference. You do not need fame to change the world. You do not need permission to follow your calling. You only need a vision, a generous heart, and the courage to act. Fatima al Fihri reminds us that true greatness is often quiet. It does not shout. It does not demand attention. It simply builds, brick by brick, idea by idea, generation by generation. Her life is a message to all of us. Use what you have to lift others. Use your gifts to build something that lasts. And that is why Fatima al Fihri, a woman many people have never heard of, deserves to be remembered. Thank you for listening. This is Learn English Through Stories with Mayan. Stories to learn English. Stories to learn life.